welcome back to my channel, everyone. So this review is on Offline, and I will say this: okay, you know how on Tubi or any streaming service they have, like, the poster of the movie. I wasn't really paying attention to who was on the poster, right? I just saw Offline. I read the synopsis. I'm like, well, let me check this out, right? So when I saw Bobby V step through the door as the man that she met on the internet, I was like, girl, when Bobby V start acting like, who put Bobby V in the movie, right? And so I see that he's playing this abusive character, and it's crazy because back in the 2000s, anyone that's a fan of him knows that he was actually in a group called Mista first. Their big hit was Blackberry Molasses, which I absolutely love. That, when I was like dealing with depression and stuff, that was a song I would listen to just kind of help me feel like I wasn't alone or whatever. Well, he went solo in the mid 2000s, and he pretty much held it down as far as in the R&B lane for the next few years after that. So I'm used to him being this, he has very lovey songs. He has songs that you don't really hear guys sing, like a song talking about telling a woman that you hurt me, but I take you back. You don't hear too much of that going on, right? So for him to play this aggressive role, I was like, oh my God, Bobby V. Now, I will say this. I think this was shot in Atlanta. The quality of it is different. It kind of put me in the zone of like independent films that came out like maybe 20 years ago, as far as how the cinematography was. Not that it was old looking, but I mean, that's just where my mind was going when I was watching it, right? So she meets this guy online, and I will tell anyone, online dating is the devil. Do not do it. Go out of your house and meet people in person. Okay, so in this movie, you see plenty of women that he's encountered that I guess he was violent with, that tried to warn his girlfriend, but she wasn't listening. Her own best friend messed with him, which that's always, anytime I see that kind of thing in a movie, it's always like, I always wish harm for both the quote-unquote friend and the guy that's doing the cheating, right? But it's crazy because there's one scene, he was on the phone with somebody, and he got up and slapped her because he was on the phone and telling me, fix some food, I'm hungry. And it's like, listen, I'm going to need for these women to start fighting back in these movies. Now, as far as real life goes, I understand it's not always that easy, but you need to knock his ass out. Alright? Like Tina in the limo, that's what I was waiting on. I saw this actually like 2 weeks ago. I'm just not doing a review. But I don't think she ever beat his ass back. She just got the crap beat out of her. And then I think he killed himself or something. Yeah, he killed himself. And then his brother, I guess, was trying to avenge his death at the end by talking to the girlfriend. And that part, I was like, why'd they do it like that? It would have ended perfectly fine if he would just blown his damn brains out, right? And that'd be the end of the movie. So with this, and with Bobby V being an actual R&B singer that can sing for real, they had some of his new music in the movie. So this let me know that auto-tune is just the style of R&B, because the songs that he was singing in the movie, his new stuff, it was auto-tuned up, right? It was auto-tuned down, however you say that. And I'm not really a fan of auto-tune, especially for people that can sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of these new R&B people can't sing, so they need it. Chris Brown doesn't need it. Bobby V doesn't need it. T-Pain doesn't need it, but I feel like when he came out, right? When T-Pain came out and his whole signature was the auto-tune, you could still tell he can sing even with the auto-tune on his voice. You get what I'm saying? Like, I can tell when the auto-tune is totally carrying a person versus a person using auto-tune as like an instrument. That's how I feel like T-Pain did it. But with Bobby V, I just feel like he didn't need it. And I'm just waiting for R&B to if I understand it can't go back to the 90s and 2000s, but I want to at least get, can we get it to where everybody's not leaning on auto-tune? Use it as a tool, but not as like a leaning thing. That's something I kind of hated when I was listening to it, because I'm a fan, you know. I'm like, dang, you got auto-tune in it. And so then I think they also were trying to maybe promote his album, or his new singles or something, because anytime a song was playing in a movie that he sang, they played the whole entire song. So you had to sit there and look at a whole entire scene of, you know, a song's 2-3 minutes, but that's pretty long when you're talking about a scene in a movie. That's extremely long, actually. So, like, there was a sex scene we had to sit through. There was a scene where I think him and the girl were getting to know each other. So I'm like, okay, you know, go ahead and promote your stuff, Bobby V, you know. But, yeah. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if this is his first role in a movie or not. So the acting was alright on his part. It was alright on his part. It was alright on her part. The story was, like I said, the story was twisted, because at the end it was like his brother was going to come into her life and cause her hell, because she had never met him. She didn't know that was his brother, and that he actually had a mental illness, that he wasn't. I don't know if that went with his abuse. I don't know if they were trying to say in the movie that he was abusive because he had a mental illness. He wasn't taking his medicine. I'm not really sure, but anybody that's in an abusive relationship, man, woman, whoever, you know, you gotta get your way out of it in steps. I don't think, they say it's real dangerous when you try to leave, so you have to plan that out. All right, but shout out to Bobby V, man. I'm glad to see him. I was surprised, like I said, to see him in a movie, and it's new too. It's not like 3, 4, 5 years old. So that was a nice surprise on my Tubi timeline. All right, shout out to my 91 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that button for me. All right, peace and blessings to you all. Until next time.